So today I'm going to talk about the cybersecurity threats and the preventive measures. Okay, so we can see about the, because nowadays you can see everywhere the cybersecurity is the like a one that is a big scope. So because the like we have the like the data, how we can secure the data. So that is the like the big question. Okay, so the securing the data. So securing the data, it is important, like that means the data, whatever the data, it is traveled from the one place to the another place, that should not be tampered. Okay, then the like the we talk about the like many things, like the privacy of the data. So that is the data need to be like a private. Okay, so nobody should get the any clue about the like information that is being passed from the one user to the another user. Okay, so this is a like important thing, and here I'm going to talk about the like a little bit basic background of the cyber security, and what challenges we have, and what kind of the possible solutions that can be adopted. As it has been mentioned by the professor from your institute, like I have provided the 3 PhD thesis in the field of data privacy and security. So in that way, like so we primarily focus for the data privacy. Okay, so privacy, like nowadays, I'm audible. Still, I'm audible. I believe I'm
Yes, sir.
audible.
Yes, sir. You are audible, but sir, your voice is too slow. So please
I don't know. Now
speak.
it is clear.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
Clear, sir. It
now
is
it is
clear.
clear.
It's clear.
Yes,
It's
sir.
very clear.
So I have supervised the like a PhD thesis in the field of the data privacy. So primarily we work for the data privacy. Okay, and that I can give you the like a little bit hint what exactly we have done. Okay, so the first problem, it was for the location privacy. Okay, so the privacy in location based services. I think there is the one talk in this FDP. Okay, that will be delivered by the Dr. Ruchika Gupta, and she is my PhD student. She is my first PhD student. Okay, and now she is like doing a PDF at the IIT Guwahati. Okay, so the concern is that like we can see the privacy in location based services, that is very, very important. So many services are based on the location. So that means the if you want to get the service, you have to share your location first. Okay, so then like the location is nothing but that is your the physical position, that is the coordinates of at the that is known as the geographical location at the earth. Okay, so that is important. If somebody is misusing that information, then there is a like some problem. Okay, so in that way, like we can see how we can please don't change the slide. I am little bit giving about the like something that is not listed over here. Okay,
Okay,
so
sir.
here we can
When you sir, please when you change the slide, so please tell me.
okay, okay,
My
definitely,
co-host,
sure, sure.
Professor Dheeraj, will change the slides.
Okay, okay, sure, sure, I will inform. Okay, don't worry.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So here we have done some work that has been recognized by the like many of the reputed publisher. And second problem, it was like the big data privacy. We talk about the data privacy nowadays, like so that means that the data privacy is a big question. That means how the privacy and security both are like uh, the challenging things. Okay, so privacy, we can say like if I want to enjoy the I want to enjoy the protected environment. Okay, so like I'm the faculty of SBNIT, and I believe my private information, that is whatever the information data related with me, that is not going to be disclosed outside the SBNIT. Okay, so that is enjoying the private like this information, that is where we can talk about the like there is the option of the privacy. Security, like we can say we must be protected from the outsider, like many kind of the threats are there, many kind of the attacks are there. So like even though my network can be attacked by the some other adversary, and that is like the idea is that like to gain the some information. Okay, so in that way, so the nowadays you can see the everywhere the digitization is there. Even the prime minister in the first tenure, like he initiated like the digital India concept of the digital India. So there is the like everywhere we can see the digitization is there. So because of the digitization, data has been increased, but the question is like how we can secure the data. how we can secure the data. That is the big challenge. Okay, because I'm visiting many places. So like I'm going to like a big bazaar, I'm going to any shopping mall, I'm going to hospital, I'm going to some other places. Okay, everywhere they are asking like some basic information. What is your name, date of birth, age, like either they can ask the like date of birth or the age or something else. Okay, so all these like the basic information, and sometimes like we are providing the like a more detailed information, like a hospital we can provide them some more detailed information. So all those informations that can be linked to each other, and then there is the like a breach of the like a privacy, because the complete information of individuals that can be revealed. So we started working in such a way that is nowadays like due to the digitization, the data is huge. So how we can do the anonymization, how we can anonymize the data, so the privacy of the individual that is not going to be the breach. Okay, so that is a privacy need to be maintained. So in that way, we started working for the that scenario, that is the big data privacy. And third problem, it was for the like a secure multi-party computation. So we started working in such a way, because many hospitals are there, like okay, and they are linked to each other, and that definitely they can secure the some, they can extend the some data to each other for some benefit. Okay, so like extending the data to each other, that is okay, but the like parallelly like the we need to we need to care about the privacy of the data. So that means the X and Y, Alice and Bob, two entities are there. If Alice want to compute the like the some function, okay, and the A is the input of the Alice, B is the input of the Bob, okay. So Alice want to compute the function, it is a function of A comma B, okay. So in that way, like the whatever the like exchange of that value is there, that should not be compromised. So we started working in such a way that is so we developed the like some algorithms for all these purposes. Okay, but here like I'm going to discuss about the like a basic scenario, like and the basic challenges what we have in the current era, and why we talk about the security. Security is the not the like a new thing. Since long back, since many years, we have been studying like this subject: information security, cryptography, network security, many more things. Okay, so this is not the like a new concept. Okay, but every time like there is the challenge. Okay, so like the if new virus it comes, like a new attack it comes, then how we can handle all those things. Okay, so because we have the solution, so we need to like see like whether all these solutions available with us, that is helpful or not. That is helpful or that is the one question. Second is that if at all it is helpful, then how much it is helpful. Okay, because it is a completely, it is going to secure the environment, secure the data, secure the devices. Okay, so then if it is 100%, then I believe like yes, I can I can enjoy this environment, and without any vibration I can share my data to that device, and that device is not going to reveal my data to somebody else. Okay, because in the in today's network, there is a, we can see there is the concept of the banking, and the many more things are there. Okay, so where there is the exchange of the data, exchange of the information or something else, it is happening. If you see this basic scenario, this is the, here we can see this purposefully I put this like a slide. Here we can see the lot many breaches are there. So there can be the privacy breach, there can be the security breach. That means attacks might be active or the passive. Okay, this is the this fellow, what she is doing. She is watching the like activities that is carried out by the this person. Okay, so this is the silent like a watch is there, silent watch is there, so that this attack could be the passive. She can observe the like she will try to observe the activities that is taken by the this person. Okay, okay, so here Professor Manish, I think
Yes, sir.
uh,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
are you able to see my pointer on the PPT?
Yes, sir. It is audible.
Sir,
Nahi, pointer, mouse
No, no,
pointer,
sir.
are you able to? Uh,
No, sir. It is not.
so that's why it will difficult
Yes,
for
sir. Yes, sir.
for me.
Now,
Like,
now it is showing pointer. Your pointer is not showing, sir.
pointer is moving
It's
like on
visible,
the
sir.
slide. Okay,
Yes, sir.
fine. Because that will help me to express like to explain each and everything properly. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this fellow, it is watching the like something that is carried about the breach of the privacy, because the that information, there is no tampering of the data. Remember, there is no tampering of the data at this point, but the only problem is that that means somebody can see like what exactly you are doing, what information you are drafting or something like uh, what matters like you are proceeding or something else. Okay. So in that way, we require the like some system. Do you have the some system to handle the like this one? Okay. So everywhere like the different challenges are there. So for each and every challenges, can we have the like a generic solution? No. In security area like a system security so there is no like a generic solution that is available to handle the all those threats. Okay. So all those threats are the different types. So here there can be the like the network, it is being broken. Okay, so that means if it is broken, so then it is difficult to pass the information that is without any alteration to the destination. Okay, so everywhere we can see the cyber security in the this cyber system. This is the whole cyber system where the number of devices are connected to each other. They are communicating to each other, but the like how those communication are being secured. So that is the one question. Okay. And if we believe like all these are being secured, then we are happy, we can share my data like even though once I access the my internet banking account, so without like a moderation, I put my ID and password and I can be connected, log into the my system account, and then I can do many transactions as per the like the policy of the bank. Okay. So in that way, like I'm helping the bank is providing the that security, and for each and every customer, customers they can perform the some set of the actions without any botheration. Okay. So please go to the next slide.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So here you can see the basic task to secure the information. How we can secure the information, because the every time it is mandatory like we want to safeguard our data. Okay, whatever the data, it is stored to the device or it is moving from the one node to the another node. Okay, so when an organization secures its information, it completes a few basic tasks. Okay, so what tasks are required that need to complete? It must analyze its asset. So what is the asset for the organization? The data. That is the asset, big asset. Okay, so that means like what data they have. Like suppose one company, it has it is a manufacturing company. It is manufacturing like a number of the products. Okay, so they know like the what how the actual product it is manufactured, like in what quantity, like different items are considered, and then they are utilized, and then what may be the like the testing and what other things are considered. Okay, so that information that I consider the data, that is it is the big asset for the organization. Okay, so they must analyze the like the assets, and then it's the corresponding threats. So what possible threats are can be there, because always there is the scope of the vulnerabilities. Okay, so vulnerabilities, it will tell you that is the weakness of the system. Okay, weakness of the system. So that vulnerability is like it is going to be exploited by the attackers. Okay, so it is going to be exploited by the attackers, and definitely like if we have the like we still like anyhow like if we are giving the scope of the vulnerabilities to the attacker, then that vulnerabilities that can be exploited. Okay, So this is the the challenge. So the organization, it is the responsibility of the organization. They need to go through the all those aspects. They need to identify all those threats, possible threats. They need to see how the their application that is secure. Okay, so it requires the the regular review to review the a security policy. If I tell you what security policy and measures are there, so what security policies and measures are there? So that means for every system there can be the some security policies, some set of the measures may be utilized. For securing the the my PC, the first component is the antivirus. That antivirus is the signature based. Okay, so that means it will work for the known signature only. That is, so if any of the virus that is that is trying to affect my PC. So then if its signature it is available with the antivirus, then it will work and it will try to generate the report, and it will try to block. Okay. So it will tell you the system with that antivirus tell you that this virus has been identified. So this is the primary task for the organization to secure the information. Second slide page, next slide page. So now we can see the two things are there. One is the bottom up approach and the a top down approach. So because I want to secure my information, so in two way I can move. So bottom up approach is the we can see the grassroots workers are there, the actual employees of the organization, and then the top level you can see the boss is sitting there. Okay, so they can the top bottom the bottom root workers we can consider the employees. They can suggest the some security bottom up approach. Now we can talk about the a top down approach. Okay, so top down approach we can see here we have seen there is the bottom up approach. There is the advantage, there is the advantage of the uh, there is no financial a problem is there. Okay, but the here the problem is that a weakness is that they can whatever the systems that directly there is no guarantee, that means it is widely accepted by the top level. Okay, go to the next slide please. So now we can say the top down approach. In the top down we can see in the top down you can see the it starts at the highest levels of the organization and works it way down. Okay, so here we can see the advantage is that the security plan initiated by the top level managers, okay, has the backing to the make the plan work a success. Okay, so this is the top down because the any organization, you can take the example any organization, they can purchase them some security tools from the any of the vendors, and then they ask their employees to learn about that. Okay, there will be the number of the training sessions or something else that will be given. No doubt so that in that way this kind of the whatever the security tools and the mechanisms are there, there is the chance of success because it is purchased by the top level organization, and then it is implemented to that organization, and all other those employees, they will learn how they can use the that tools. Okay, next slide. Then we can see if at all as I told you I want to secure the my data. This is the very basic analogy, the analogy where we can consider the Alice and Bob, two entities are there. So they are very much popular in the information security subject. Alice places an object in a metal box. So let us have the a metal box where the Alice is placing the object, and then locks it with the combinational lock left by the Bob. Okay. So Bob has left the combinational lock by which the Alice is locks this metal box, and then the Bob is the only person who can open the box since only he knows the possible combination. Okay, so what is the idea? If a number of digits in the combination lock longer the key, okay, if that means that we need to talk about the key size. What is the size? Key size space. It is considered the key size space. If the key size space is very longer, then the like of security is good. Okay, so that means the number of digits in the combinational lock longer the key, that means the key size space is increased, then the stronger the encryption, and then it is very difficult for adversary to guess which key it was used for the like of encrypting the data. If adversary is not able to get the like of that key, so then he is not able to decrypt the uh, uh, perform the decryption. Okay, so as a extending the length of the key exponentially increases the number of the possible key combinations. And if at all we are able to increase the possible key combinations, then it is very difficult for the adversary to decrypt the data, like to crack that information like a ciphertext, crack that ciphertext. Okay, next slide. So this is the one basic analogy where we can see like the securing the information that may be there. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, this is security services. Okay, so the like the in security subject like information security, these are the primary like the attributes which are known as the confidentiality, integrity, and the availability. So these are the primary attributes are there. Okay, and these are going to ensure about the like providing the security of your information. Okay, so we need to see how exactly we can achieve the confidentiality, how we can achieve the integrity, how we can achieve the availability. All three or together are being achieved, then our information is secure. Okay, next slide. So we'll focus on the all these terminologies, and these are the basic attributes of the information security. Okay, so confidentiality, the prevention of unauthorized disclosure of the information. That means the confidentiality is equal to the privacy. That means if I'm sending the data to someone, okay, so how we can relate the confidentiality over here? So that is the data, it is being traveled from the one node to the another node. So the so the no one should the disclose the actual contents of the data in between the two pair of the nodes. Okay, the data, actual contents of the data should not be disclosed to the anybody else. Okay, so that is known as the privacy. Okay, that means what information it is passed from one node to the another node. So in that way, it is in secure way, and where the confidentiality it is not going to be compromised. Integrity is the prevention of unauthorized modification of the information. So that means the the data that is traveled from the one node to the another node, it should be it should reach in actual form as it was originated by the sender to the receiver. It should reach in the actual form to the receiver. Okay, so there should not be any alteration in the data. There should not be any alteration in the data. Okay, so this is the consider the integrity. Availability, availability is the prevention of unauthorized withholding, custody of the information or the resources, or keeping the system available. So because I services, all the data must be available on demand. I need some information, it must be provided. Okay, so there should not be the custody of the that information. Custody in the sense if we talk about the one situation there is the flooding is there. Okay, so flooding is the kind of the attack. Okay, so that means the node, actual node, it is flooded with the many of the false requests, but the all these requests are considered as it is considered by the that node
as a legitimate request, so then that node will be busy to handle all those requests only. But these requests are not the legitimate that is originated by the like a different nodes. Okay, so in that way, like the node it will be not in the position to tackle the actual request that is originated by the legitimate one. So that in that way, like so that whatever the services, whatever the data that is available with the node, it is with the custody of the that is not available to the like any of the legitimate requester. Okay, so there is the like all three confidentiality, integrity, and availability. All three key attributes like a security attributes need to be taken care and must be implemented properly. Next slide. This is the like the non-reputation. So this is again apart from the CIA. This is again one security attribute. Non-reputation means like the communicating entities should not deny about the like the said transaction. So that means if I send something to the somebody and the latter I cannot refuse. I cannot refuse like I did not send like that information to the like somebody else. Okay, so non-repetition is again the like one basic security attributes. It provides the protection against the denial by one of the entities involved in the communication of having the participated in all or the part of the communication. So I don't, it doesn't matter like okay, whether the entities were like a part of the like they were involved for the partial communication or the full communication. But even though in the partial communication they exchange some data, but the latter they cannot refuse about that exchange. Okay, so the non-repetition of origin it proves that the message was sent by the like a specified party. So what security methods we can adopt? We'll see. Non-repetition of the destination proves that like a message was received by the received party. So in that way, so there should be the mechanism that should handle the like this problem, that is the repetition. If repetition and the communicating entities should not like this should not like deny about the committed transaction. Okay, next slide. So this is the so far we have seen like all these security attributes, but still like there is the attack. Some attacks are there. So what kind of the attacks we can observe? So here all these are listed below. That means attacks against the confidentiality. First, we can see the like a post security service. Okay, attacks against the confidentiality. So eavesdropping and the traffic flow analysis. Attack against the integrity, that is the man in the middle attack. Attacks against the availability, denial of service attack. DOS, that is popularly it is known as the DOS. Okay, so here attacks against the confidentiality means like eavesdropping, that is the attack. That means somebody is sitting in between the like two parties, two entities. That means they are communicating to each other, and between there is the presence of somebody who is observing everything very silently, who is observing everything very silently. So that means that fellow is not going to modify the contents of the data, but simply observing the everything like what communication it is done in between the two pair of the entities. So that is known as the passive attack. So that attack is known as the passive attack. So traffic flow analysis is the another. So that means so looking to the like that observation, somebody can analyze the traffic, and that traffic analysis can lead to the some other attack. Okay, so here there is the scope of the like all these kind of the attacks against the confidentiality. Okay, Attacks against the integrity is a man in the middle attack. That means in between, again, a man in middle attack you can relate with the attacks against the confidentiality, because in between there is the presence of this adversary, but that adversary is not performing any of the active attack, that is running at the passive attack. Okay. So this is the attacks against the integrity, there is that the scope of tampering the data. So data is tempered. So that data, it is tempered in between the network when it is moving from the one node to the another node. Okay. And the attacks against the availability, like a denial of service attack. So that means I told you like a flooding. Flooding is the kind of the things where the denial of service attack can be related, because the one node can be flooded with the many of the requests. If node has the capacity to handle the 10 requests, if it is flooded with the 100 requests, the node will be busy with the the processing all the sometimes node will be not in the position to accept the legitimate request. Okay, so availability is going to be compromised. Next slide. So these are the possible attacks against the each and everything. So all these are being summarized over here. Okay, so if you see the as I'm not able to point every figure, so you can see the top one, like a small box, that is mentioned normal flow. Okay, this is the normal communication between the two pair of the entities where the source and the destination is there. We assume that the communication is secure. We assume that communication is secure, channel is secure, through which the message is passed. Okay, so that is the A option is there, that is the normal flow. But if you go with the B, C, D, and A, all four variants are there where we can relate with the some kind of the attack. Okay, and then at the right side you can see in the one box we have mentioned the secrecy. Secrecy means the confidentiality, as I told you, integrity and the availability. So we are going to relate which one is going to compromise by which attack. If talk about the interruption, by which a security service it is going to be compromised, whether the secrecy is compromised, integrity is compromised, or the availability is compromised. Okay, so start with the a B box interruption. Okay, what do you get from this block, this figure? You know, the two nodes are there. Okay, and there is the interruption of that is the channel that is being interrupted. Okay, so that means the what if A is sending something that is not reaching to the B. Okay, there is the interruption. Okay, or A is requesting something from B that is not reaching to the A. Okay, so AB two nodes we consider. So if you see and then C in the figure C, interception is there. So that means somebody is intercepting. Okay, what contents are being flowed from the one net node to the another node, that is intercepted by the node. D is the a modification. So that modification it is done by the adversary. There is the presence of the adversary who is able to modify the data, all the data. Fabrication, that means here we can see if I say the original sender, that is being bypassed with the this fake node. Okay, that is the fake node. Okay, that is the attacker node. And that receiver will believe he has been connected with this legitimate node, but actually he is connected with the fake node. Okay, so looking to the all these figures, you can see if you go to the rough level, it is and the attributes are mentioned, that is secrecy, integrity, and the availability. In the first concept in the secrecy, the interception is applicable. So that means somebody is intercepting your message. Okay. So that is for the some benefit. Okay, it's not that way, because item is that way we can see the secrecy of the information is compromised. Secrecy means like we can consider the privacy, secrecy, confidentiality. Confidentiality it is compromised. Okay. Then the question is that do we have the some mechanism? These are the attributes. How we can what mechanisms are there in each and every case? So we'll discuss. Then second is the integrity in the modification and the fabrication both are important, and they are the kind of the attacks against the integrity. And these are the kind of attacks against the integrity. That means the modification and the fabrication. So that means the if A and B two nodes are there, they want to communicate, but there is the presence of the C. But if you see that like we have the like data at A, and that data it is sent from A to B. So that data it is encrypted. Let us see. That data is encrypted. So encryption is done at the node A, and then it is sent to the B. But how C can modify? If C at all it is able to modify, then it is the modification. Okay. Then how the C will modify the data? That is the one question. C can modify the data only once if C is able to get the key, encryption key. If data it was encrypted with like a symmetric key, so then the same key can be used for the encryption and the decryption. So you know like the inverse of that key. Okay? Either it could be additive inverse or the multiplicative inverse. Like if I talk about the basic cipher, that is the seizure cipher, where the additive inverse is possible. Like the icon k is equal to 3, then the every character it is replaced, the plain text it is replaced with the, like a next third character, okay, after that one particular sequence of the letters. So here if adversary is able to get the key, then the everything it is going to be happen. That means the data it is going to be modified. Okay. So here it is the case of the modification. Fabrication means like the C is the adversary. C has the every control that is available with the A. Okay, and then like a C will bypass the A, and it will connect with the B, and the B is assuming like that is the C is the legitimate one. So here the fabrication it is done. So that is the kind of the integrated. So if we have the like a good kind of the authentication mechanism, then all these problems that can be done, okay, solved. Availability is the like the A to B. So if C, that is the interruption is there. So the request if A needs some data, so that means that it can send the request to B, and the B can reply, but it is not like reaching to the B because of that like a B is BG or something else. So that is the case of the availability, or the interruption is the kind of the attack against the availability. So in all three cases, we can somewhere the secrecy is compromised, integrity is compromised, and the availability is compromised. Go to the next slide. So here, as so far we have seen all these security services, but the idea is that like do we have the mechanisms to achieve all these services? If I say I want to achieve the confidentiality, so what mechanisms I can adopt? If I want to achieve the integrity, what mechanism we can adopt? I want to achieve the availability, what mechanism? So here, so this is the kind of the relationship between the security services and the mechanisms. Okay. So here we can see the confidentiality at the top. For that, like I can have the encipherment. That means the any kind of the encryption techniques that is going to assure you the that will provide the secrecy of the secrecy. That will achieve the secrecy. Okay. Any unless it is being attacked. Unless it is being if it is attacked, then the again secrecy is going to be compromised. So we need to set up the like our key in such a way, because if you see like the secret key mechanism is the symmetric key and the asymmetric is there. Symmetric like we believe like the even the channel is not sorry, so channel is a channel must be secure, that will help to exchange the key. But the in asymmetric like a public key cryptography, so that overall the exchange of the data, it is done over the public channel. Okay, because every time like considering the secure channel and that is not the easier task. Okay, so the second point is the traffic flow confidentiality. That means confidentiality can be like in two way. One is the traffic flow and the confidentiality in general. So again, to avoid the traffic flow, we can have the like a padding. So padding up the some bits can be done to the original data, original text. Then it is difficult for the adversary to get the original text, even though he is able to get the key to decrypt the message. Okay, adversary will be confused like which part of the like that bits of original that ciphertext can be like ignored to get the like a plain text. Okay, data integrity is the like where the signature data digital signature, you know, that is very popular. Digital signature, that is the based on the analogy of the public key infrastructure, and that will help for the data integrity, because the message it is encrypted. Okay, and that is sent to the like receiver, but the how the receiver will know if that message is the original message. Okay, so here the hash of the like that message, it is uh, uh, computed, and that is attached with the original message, and then it can be like again encrypted. Okay, and the encryption with the suitable key, and that is known as the MAC, message authentication code, and that can be sent to the receiver. Then the whole message can be decrypted. From that like original message can be retrieved, and the hash can be retrieved, and then the like the hash value of the original message can be computed, and then the both hash can be matched. If both are equal, then the message is original. There is no compression, like a data was not tampered. Okay, so that is the like a case of the digital signature. So availability is the like another thing. So for that availability based mechanisms are the authentication exchange protocols. And the non-repetition, as you have seen, like if I send some data, I have already sent some data. For that, I cannot refuse. So non-repetition, that is the it is achieved through the digital signature. Next slide. I'm audible.
Yes, sir, it is audible. Yes, sir.
Okay, sir. So this is the so far we have seen, right? Every time I will try to summarize. Like so far we have seen the different security attributes, and we have seen attacks against the security attributes. Then we have realized that some security mechanism that can be adopted to relate each and every security attribute, because through that mechanism only we can achieve that thing, that we can realize the like integrity of the data, we can realize the confidentiality of the data or something else. Okay, so here are attacker profiles. So if you see, the attackers are very smart. They can have the like different variants of they can have their like different profiles through which like they can perform the attack. Okay, so one is the hackers, crackers. Many times we are confused with the hackers and crackers. Well, it's this script kiddies, spies, employees, and the cyber terrorist is like a bigger like a kind of the domain where the we relate with the internet. Okay, next slide. So this is the hackers. First we talk about the hackers, then we go with the crackers and a little down. Hackers is like a person who uses the advanced computer skills to attack the computers, but not with the malicious intent. That is to be noted, not with the malicious intent. Okay. the use their skills to expose the security flaw, and they want to tell you the weakness of your system. That is the hacker. There is no malicious intent, but the attack is there, something, and they want to expose your system, expose the security flaw of your system. Okay, so there is the code of ethics of the hackers. So breaking into the another person's computer is ethically acceptable as long as they do not commit theft, damage the data, or break of the confidentiality. So that means even though there is a like I spoke, that is that they are not intended to break the confidentiality of the data. Okay, but they can tell you like, okay, that means there is the some scope of vulnerabilities at your system, and then you can realize like, yes, that vulnerabilities are there. So for that, you can think about the something. Next, then we can talk about the crackers. Hackers and crackers, like two things are there, but the hackers we have seen there is no malicious intent. Person who violates the system security with the malicious intent. Okay, so that is have the advanced knowledge of the computers and networks and skills to exploit them. So they can destroy everything. Like they can destroy your data. They can put some restriction over that like a system by which like the system will not accept the legitimate users. Okay, so because that is a control under the somebody else like who is attacking that system. So crackers are often mistakenly like called the hackers. Okay, so that's why there is a confusion between crackers and hackers. But the crackers are they perform the attacks for the malicious intent. Okay, so crackers are often mistakenly called the hackers. Next slide. Then the script kit is very like having the little knowledge. Okay, so like almost we can consider the unskilled work users. So like if you say like if you have the kid in your house, okay, and if you give you the mobile device and that is connected with the internet, then he can do anything. He can do anything like and by doing that, if the device is connected with the internet, so there is the scope that many things can be downloaded, and it is not intentionally it is downloaded. Many things can be downloaded to your device, and that is going to create the problem, and that is going to create the problem for your device. Okay, and later you observe like many things it is going to be happen to your device sometime, like your file format it is change or something else. Okay, because that like the some there is the scope of the virus like and the downloading the files by which there is the like the virus it is going to affect your device. Okay, so there is no restriction of the time, almost like unlimited amounts of free time they have, and they can play with that device for without any knowledge. Okay, so that is the scope of the script kiddies. Next, so next is the spies. So that means the person hired to break into a computer and steal the information, just like the crackers we can consider. So, but that is a motivation is almost financial. So crackers somehow it is different from the spice, like but the spice it is how it is different, because here the motivation is like to attack the specific computer. It is not the any general computer or the any other computer. Okay. So here the spice it is it will work in such a way, and the main motivation is the financial. Next, then the employees, like they are very core component of like any organization. So that is employees you can see. somebody is satisfied, somebody is not satisfied, or something else. If somebody is not satisfied, then he can give the threat to the organization by exploiting the vulnerabilities of that system or something else. Okay. Or somebody, hey, it was like somebody want to re-enter into that organization because earlier he was fired because of the some problem. So in that way, he will try to expose the the some security flaw of that system. Then the organization will think, oh, better we can hire that fellow and he will take care about all the security things and everything. Okay. And again, motivation is money. For money, this kind of attacks that can be coordinated. Next, please. Next slide, please. Yes. Cyber terrorists, I told you, this is a bigger network like internet, where the many possible threats are there. So everywhere we can see there is the scope of the attack and something else. Okay, so we start with the a basic thing if I talk about the CIA, if I'm able to achieve the CIA of any of the data, then the information it is 100% secure. Next slide, please. So these are the common approaches. So these are the all common approaches by which we can see the information can be secured. So here I identified all these approaches, and they can be categorized into the different uh, mm, category. They have been given the a different name. Okay, and these all these approaches are useful for providing the security. Okay, and they can be in the 6 different areas. First is the attack deterrence. Attack deterrence is a common a security approach. Okay, here the negative the consequences everywhere if there is the attack. Okay, somebody is attacking to the system. Okay, so how we can prevent this attack? The attack deterrence is the one scenario where we can tell the attackers about the negative consequences of the attack. So that means we can tell them, that means if you attack this system, then you will be penalized. Okay, and you will be given to the jail also, or there will be a huge penalty. Okay, so that means this comes from the the cyber law. So if you have the strong cyber law, then we are going to prevent all these kind of the attacks. Okay, strong cyber law. If you don't have the strong cyber law, so then there is a attacks. Okay, so attack deterrence is a one kind of the mechanism which will give you a scope where we can uh, uh, you can tell the attackers. You can publish because the government of India, we see there is a cyber law policy is there. All these are if it is known to the every attacker, then the if it is very drafted in the strong way, every clause is very strong and everything. So there is no problem. So main scope is the you should tell them what may be the negative consequences of the attack. So having a strong legal system may be useful in the attack defense, and that will help for the this mechanism. And this is considered the mechanism or the approach. Okay, so to enable the this approach stronger, we need to have a strong legal system. But the another is there, however, it requires the strong evidence against the attacker in case of attack was launched. So if even though attack was launched, we require the strong evidence. So we have the some forensic tools or something else by which we can collect these events. Nowadays we talk about the different forensic tools or something else. Many tools are there by which and all these tools are widely used by the forensic cyber security, cyber crime and the cyber security department. Okay. Next. Okay. Attack prevention. You know there can be the scope of the attack prevention, attack detection. So I want to prevent the attack. How we can prevent? Okay. So we have the like any mechanism. Okay. So prevention means like the attack is happened. So it should not reach to the target machine. In between, it should be blocked. So that is the like the blocking the attacks. That means preventing the like that is known as the like we are securing our devices or system. So attack prevention aims to prevent an attack by blocking it before an attack can reach to the target machine. So, however, it is very difficult to prevent all attacks because we don't know the like all those signatures, and this is the like the signature based approach. So it can prevent the like the attack for that like it has been trained. If so that device like if you consider the firewall that is connected that is the intermediate device between the public network and the private network. So where we can have the like this kind of the device there is the that is going to monitor the inflow traffic and the outflow traffic. But that is to be like a trend like in such a way that is there is a scope of the all possible attack signature, complete knowledge of the all possible attacks signatures, as well as the complete knowledge of the all allowed normal attacks. If anyone is missing, so then there is like a problem. So there can be the false cases. Okay. So here we can see like firewall could be like a one example of like this mechanisms where we talk about the attack prevention. Next slide, please. Then we can see two things are there: attack deflection and the attack avoidance. So attack deflection is like one thing where we can see this is going to help you to trap the attacker. Attack deflection. This is going to help you to trap the attacker. So here, how you can trap? So that means you should have the like some mechanisms. So honeypot is like a good example that will help you to trap the attack. So sometimes like you can see the one port what it was open for the like some purpose, and the later it was closed, but it's still like it is it is like in kind of like open environment, like so it was closed, but the like is still like a attacker for attacker. It looks like a open. It looks like the open port. Okay, so then the attacker will start attacking that port, and once attacker will start that port, then its signature can be tracked. So that is the like that will help for the to trap the attacker. And once the signature is trapped of the signature of attacker is trapped, that signature that can be used for the enhancing the system of the attack prevention. Because in the attack prevention we have seen all those signatures must be there. What should be allowed, what should not be allowed. Okay. Attack avoidance is like another thing. So here, how we can avoid the attack. So avoiding the attack means the like the whatever the resources are there that must be unusable to the attacker. How? The file is the one resource. Okay. If entire file is encrypted, then it is unusable because like it is very difficult for an adversary to know about the like actual contents of that file unless it is decrypted. So here the basic mechanisms are the encryption mechanisms, cryptography methods, which are enabling, which are going to enable the encryption, okay, as well as the decryption, okay. So encrypting the data renders the data useless to the attacker. It is not useful; it is useless, okay. Thus, the avoiding the possible threats. Next, please. Then this is the attack detection. Okay. So this is the last one mechanism. So that is the approach. Okay. So so far we have seen the attack this prevention. Okay, attack avoidance. Then attack detection is there. Here the concept is that like how it is different from the attack prevention. Attack prevention, like how the attack is prevented, that is attack is blocked before reaching to the target person. But here, even though attack it is under the execution or it has occurred in past, in both cases the attack detection, that is a IDS intrusion detection system, that is very popular terminology that you know that can be used. Okay. So detecting an attack is just significant for the two reasons. One is the first is the like the system must recover from the damage caused by the attack, and the second is it allows the system to take measures to prevent the similar attacks in the future. So research in this area on building the intelligent system, and it is equally important for the database protection also, because we want to protect the data, so how it can be done. Okay. So attack detection, it is somehow different from the attack prevention. But every time, if you want to improve your system, then it's a training phase. It can be revisited, like it should be trained with the like all possible signatures. Okay. All possible signatures, then it is a very good kind of the system you have. Okay. Then at all like the attack is happened, then there is the scope of the recovery. The attack is detected, then you can recover the state from that state to the like a just separate state. So there can be the recovery is done, and then before that recovery, that can be the reaction. Okay. So what reaction can be done if attack is detected? So then the reaction is like that system should can block that like that user permanently. Okay, because that all these users are creating the problem to the system. Okay, next please. Okay, so as so far we have seen the attack detection. So here I'm going to little focus of the design of this kind of the system, and that is known as the intrusion detection system, and how what components are there, what set of models are there, and how the system works, and exactly what parameters can be there to evaluate the performance of the system, because you know you have developed the system. So who is responsible to measure the performance of the like that system? How to check like that should be the some.
तुम भरपेट मारोगे काम, तुम कुछ नहीं, तुम्हें सारे इंजीनियर काम करके देंगे कहाँ से क्या हुआ, कौन सा अटैक कैसे हुआ, तुम लिस्ट को
Yes, please, like somebody, please mute your mic.
गवर्नमेंट आया, गवर्नमेंट की एजेंसी आया, क्यों हो रहा है, गवर्नमेंट की एजेंसी पक्का आएगी तो कहते कि मैं
Sir Manish, like please.
Hello, please mute your mic, please. Hello, Manish
Please
sir.
ask the audience to mute the mic.
Neeraj sir, please mute the mic now, all of you.
मनीष सर प्लीज म्यूट कर दीजिए मनीष सर।
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Just hold on, sir. Sir, all mute कर दीजिए. मैं करा दूँ sir. Just hold on.
नहीं वो तुम्हारे पास इतना पावर है ना, तुम किसी को फंसा सकते, किसी को, एनी पर्सन ऑल ओवर वर्ल्ड में किसी का नाम दे सकते हो, तुम रिपोर्ट बना के दे रहे हो, रिपोर्ट में जिसका नाम आ गया तो सीधे
Extremely sorry, sir. मैं सारा mute कर देता हूँ.
प्रूफ वो हो जाएगा ना, जैसे वो अटैक हुआ, अटैक में एक नाम दे देना, जहाँ से अटैक हो रही है और डिटेल निकाल नहीं है, क्या करें, डिटेल निकाल, डिटेल में एक नाम उसका।
Hello, I'm audible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Okay, fine. So here we'll discuss about the components of the attack. Sorry, IDS, intrusion system. The first basic component is the data preprocessor. So because you know, like if you are familiar with the machine learning techniques, So where we can talk about the supervised technique. Okay, so that is the kind of the classifier. So that will classify the input. So if you have developed one model, so that will help you to classify the input. And for that, like the system has been trained with the data, and that data was for that data, like you had some class level, that is yes, no, something else. Okay. So data preprocessor is the very first component, okay, for the designing of these ideas, where we can see the last paragraph. It is clearly mentioned the data used for the detecting the intrusions range from the user access patterns. And what are the user access patterns? Mean, for example, the sequence of the command issued at the terminal and the resources requested. Okay, so because the any access of the data is there, like the resource can be requested. Then the network level components is the network packet level features are there, such as the source and the destination IP address, type of the packet, UDP or the TCP, and the rate of the occurrence of the packet, like at what rate, like the packet it is occurring. Okay. Then the again application and system level behavior is the like such as the sequence of the system calls generated by the process. So we refer to this data as the like audit pattern, and the audit means like that is a very much like a purified, like a very much like the data. It is considered in the like one particular format, and that way is going to help for the developing the these ideas. Okay. So for the implementation of the ideas, this is the core component, that is the data preprocessor. Next slide, please. Then we can have the analyzer. Second step is the analyzer and the response engine. Okay. So analyzer is the kind of where we can think about the any of the machine learning techniques which for which like you are comfortable and that can be implemented, but the not comfortable, but you need to see the like the robust kind of the technique need to be adopted. Okay. So I told you like any of the machine learning data mining techniques can be there where that for that like you can provide all these audit data, and for that like a training can be done. And then the second is the testing. So you can test your like the system performance of that ideas. Okay. Third component is the response engine. As I told you, because the response engine is very important. Response engine controls the reaction mechanism and determines how to respond when the analyzer detects an attack. If analyzer is detecting an attack, so how it can be responded. So the system may decide either to raise an alert without taking any action against the source, or may decide to block the source for a predefined period of time. So that means it can be permanently blocked. The user can be permanently blocked because it was the disturbance was created by that user only because that user generated the some attack. Okay, initiated the some attack. So all these actions are depends on the policies, security policies that is being implemented at the being implemented. Okay, so this is kind of the like a response engine like that is useful. Okay, so all three components are there like that is will help you to know about the analyzing the idea. Sorry, implementing the ideas. What about the like performance analysis? Next slide, please. You know the confusion matrix, like I think you are familiar. So where we can have the one side, the predicted class, one side we can have the actual class. Here I'm taking one example of this. I want to develop the ideas which can classify the inputs and it can say action is malicious or action is not malicious. If it is malicious, it is labeled with the yes class, that is the positive. If it is not malicious, it is labeled with the negative class, that is the no. Okay. So all four components are there, A, B, C, D. So here we can see, we can relate like if actual class at the left side, you can see the if it is yes, and the predicted class is the yes. That is the case of the true positive. Means we have trained the ideas in such a way, if any action it is malicious, it is coming, for that it was a trend, so it will report yes for that action, and that's why there is it is known as the true positive. If it is reporting no, okay, so that is the actual class is yes, and the predicted class is the no, then it is very dangerous. That is the attack was then it was not directed by the ideas, it was bypassed to the system, and that's why the class it is no. So false negative. Okay, so that is considered the false negative. Okay, if an attack is there is the actual class is no and the predicted class is yes, then is the false positive. That means the legitimate action it is marked as a malicious action. Okay, by the ideas. Okay. So another is if the actual class is no, predicted class is no, that is a very good, because no to no, so that means negative to negative. So we should have the control on the this false positive and the false negative. False negative very dangerous. That is the action is malicious, even though it is the ideas is not going to raise the alarm. That is very harmful. Okay. So next slide, please. So this is the kind of the evaluation we talk about the accuracy. So accuracy, you know, is the proportion of the total number of predictions that were correct. So it is determined using this equation where we can see the TP plus TN, true positive, true negative, that is a actual thing. So that is the actual prediction. So that is the correct prediction, not actual, correct prediction, true positive and the true negative. And out of total number of the prediction. So if you have the two class problem where the 0 and 1 is there, okay, so number of instances are there 9,919 for the 0 class, and the 10 is for the 1 class 1. Okay, and if model predicts everything to be 0, then accuracy is the a 99.9. Okay, so what about the 0.1%? So there is the accuracy is misleading because the model does not detect any class 1 example here. Everything it is reported as a 0 class, all samples. So there is the problem with these ideas. These ideas was not trained properly. So this is the accuracy, the proportion of the total number of the predictions that were correct. Okay, so the TP and the TN that were the correct prediction. Okay, next slide, please. So all these are different methods are there, so different parameters are where we can use. So recall. So recall is the known as the true positive TP. In the proportion of the positive cases that were correctly identified. So you can see what is the recall. So recall that means if I supply for the ideas, if I supply 100 number of the transactions to the ideas, out of that 30 are detected, 30 are reported, a 30 IDS is raising the alarm. What about the 70? 70 are the case of the false negative, and the true positive is the a 30 plus 70. Out of that, what is the TP? So what is the the percentage? This is the so the recalls means the coverage. What is the coverage of that system? Kind of the system we talk about the ideas. Then all these are the parameters of false positive rate FP, that is the proportion of negative cases that were incorrectly classified as a positive. Negative to positive prediction, that is if it is possible. So that is calculated by this one. So next slide, please. Then this is the true negative, false negative, all those you can see, and that is a that is defined over here. Okay, true negative means it is defined as proportion of negative cases that were correctly classified as a, and it is calculated with that with this formula. Next slide, please. Then precision is important. I told you the coverage and the correctness. Coverage means the precision. What is the coverage? If I supply the 100 transaction malicious, out of that 30 are reported, for 30 is raising the alarm. 30 by 100, it is the 30%. What is the precision? Is the proportion of the predicted positive cases. That is very important. Let us see. It is the proportion of predicted positive cases that were correct. Let us talk about the precision, and then let us talk about the recall. Let us assume the IDS is there. For that, like the one action is coming as a malicious, okay, and it is marked as a malicious, then it is okay. If it is not marked as malicious, that is the false negative. If action is not malicious, it is marked as a malicious, that is the false positive. So if I give the the 50 number of transactions, malicious transaction, if I consider the 50 number of non-malicious transaction, that is the legitimate, it is 100. Okay. So if I supply to the that IDS, let us say the behavior. Okay. So for 50, it is raising the alarm, that is the true positive. Okay. And that is the malicious to malicious. But the for 50, that is a non-malicious to malicious. Out of that, for 30, it is raising the alarm. So the question is that how we can measure the precision. Precision is the proportion of predicted positive cases that were correct. We have identified some positive cases, but out of that, what are correct? 50 are correct, but what about the 30? 30 are correct? No. For that, it was raising the alarm, but though that all those 30 transactions were not malicious, but even though it is raising the alarms, that all these are not the correct positive cases. So we can calculate the a TP divided by FP false positive plus the TP. So that will tell you the precision. It is the correctness. So how correctly your system is going to work, that is the precision. Next slide, please. So here you can take one example so this is the one example where the predicted class and the true class this confusion matrix is there. So I can ask you, so what is the precision of the IDS respect to the malicious class? As Professor Manish has mentioned, at the last of on the last day of this faculty development program. So there is some question answer questionnaires that can be there.
Yes, sir.
So you can.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. I think this is the last slide of your presentation, sir.
No, just take the next one. This is the last slide. Okay. Yes. So let me summarize the overall the presentation. So I started with the cyber security, and I try to relate with some security attributes and what attacks are possible, and then how we can achieve all these services, security services. So that is through definitely the some set of the mechanisms, security mechanisms. Okay. Then I try to discuss some attackers profiles and some security approaches. Okay. So far we have seen the different fixed categories. Okay. And then I try to tell you the design of the ideas and how its performance can be measured. So here you can see on this slide, if it is labeled high precision and the low recall with respect to the malicious. The precision high, that correctness is good, very high, but the low recall, that is the coverage is low. So that is a false negative. That is the scope of the false negative cases are there. So that means the false acceptance. Recall low, so then the false negative cases, false negative possibility is there. If it is IDS is leveled with the high recall and the low precision, so then if low precision, the correctness we are going to compromise. then it is the false positive, false rejectance. Okay. So negative to positive. So transaction is negative, but it is marked as the positive. So this is the end of the slide. So that
Thank
I
you.
tried to.
Thank you very much, Uday sir. And it's a very nice session.
For
I
the
think
disturbance, it was
no,
many
no, sir.
times there was a disconnection and everything. Okay.
No, sir, it's not a big issue. Actually, when this type of event was, we have chosen that we have no any other options, that this is the total online sessions. So
Yes.
when
Because
we
of COVID,
when we do it when we do it when we are sitting here over the places, so it is a minor technical issue and we don't have any options. Thank you, Dr. Uday Pratap Rao. And now I would like to request to all my dear participants, this is the 10 minutes question answer session. If you have any questions related to today's topic delivered by Dr. Uday Pratap Rao, a senior professor from SBNIT Surat. Your question are most welcome. Please ask your questions, unmute yourself and ask your questions related to today's topic: cyber crime, cyber securities, cyber threats. Yes, anyone? Before anyone asks any questions, Dr. Rao sir, I have one question in my mind. Can I ask one question related to today's topic, sir? Please.
Yes.
Sir, how to resolve the or minimize the cyber crime or cyber attacks by through any app or any mechanism is there, sir? Is there any
That
mechanism
is
or any app are in the market or Google?
Listen. Yes, listen, please.
Ji.
The question is very good. Like everybody is asking, because if you talk about the layman, okay, so that means they don't have the knowledge about the all those stuffs about the cyber security. They want something like they are going to the bank, they are visiting the bank, or they are connected with the some online transaction, something else. So they want to know the assurance for okay, that means that their information, their data is secure. So best tool is the awareness. The first is the awareness. That's why you can see the ISCA project is there, and I was also the a PI of this project, the Information Security Education Awareness Program. Okay, so
Nice,
the government of India, Ministry of Electronics and METI, they are running the different programs, that is to aware the people. And because we have the system, but if you are not comfortable with the system, so then that you will think many times before connecting to that system. Okay, so that is the awareness is the a primary goal, primary task. And the second is the yes, even though the system is developed, you can see the many places we have the different options, different advertisement is there everywhere, that you can get from the different sites about the yes, you can visit the any of the portal of the commercial portal, they will tell you yes, there is the security policy and the privacy policy is there. Okay, so that is the kind of the awareness is there, if we are aware about all those stuffs, then we feel we are happy and we can connect with the system. But apart from that, we can develop the many of the tools, many algorithms, many crypto systems that can be there for the securing of the data.
Yes, sir. Thank you. But sir, my question is, normal person don't have any ideas big threats of cyber securities, and they ping the thing and they swipe their debit card or credit card, and their data has been stolen. So my question is, pinpoll is that if there are any securities or the thing is that we kept in our mind that we have to save that situations, or like a
Yes.
Google app or Apple app. Is there any application has been developed to save or to intimate ourselves that this is the threat, or you are in a big condition on cyber threats?
Yes, yes, that is there, and it is a kind of the app of ISCA project. It is as a part of ISCA project. It is it will tell you everything. I think it is widely available, but I have to again check. And they are providing the each and every information. They are conducting the different set of the training programs and everything to make aware the people. Okay, and as you
Yes, sir.
told, swiping the card. So as a user, I don't know what is there in the system. I'm not aware about the system. Okay,
Yes, sir.
don't know the physical condition about the system. Okay, my
What is actually
duty is
swipe
I want
machine,
to
or there is any difference between
uh,
credit or
if
debit card?
if some mechanism that is there, and that is going to steal my the data. Once I swipe the sometimes you can see the different readers are there, so that can be used by the adversary. Okay, they want to steal if you go to the visit the petrol pump for the payment, sometimes if you see the many cases you can see hear in the news, so they have swiped your card to that device, and that device will read everything of your card. Okay, and that data they are going to use for the some malicious action.
So this time we are totally helpless that our data has been recorded by somewhere, any devices, maybe SDFC, maybe IDFC, maybe ICICI, or some other device, physical device. We are totally helpless, sir. In that means, sir.
No, not helpless. We should have the trust on the system.
Okay, sir. Thank you, Dr. Rao, sir. If any of the participants in the Zoom meeting of today's may ask the question, the today's related topic, if you have, we are all faculty members. If you have any
Sir, I
query,
have
any
one question.
yes, Dolly, ma'am, please.
Sir, is there any right governance strategy to minimize these risks, because they are very rapidly increasing day by day?
What is your voice is not
Sir.
coming? Just can you repeat the question?
Sir, is there any strategy to minimize these
Yes.
cyber risks?
Cyber attack.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Is there any government policy? I think Dolly ma'am.
Governance strategy.
Governance strategy.
See,
To minimize.
the DISA is the one rule. I think if we talk about the data privacy, okay. So DISA is the one law that is pending in the parliament, and definitely it will come in the final scope. So because every country it has some privacy law or something else like this. India is also developing, and that will come in near future, because we have the use of many of the online social network. We are using the Facebook, WhatsApp, and everything, and without any botheration we are sharing the data to them, and they are I don't know we don't know what they are doing with our data, whether they are misusing the data, or they are analyzing the data, or we don't know. So for that India is also making the a cyber data privacy law, and that will very soon it will be available for the user.
Yes, sir. I think we have one more question from chat. Miss Ayushi Agrawal sent a question. Do we have any cyber insurance? Do we have any cyber insurance policy, sir? This question is count from Ayushi Agrawal, Pandit Devnagar Shastri College, Chhatarpur.
I'm not aware, because that all these kind of the questions are totally related with the cyber forensic.
Yes, sir. Okay, no issue, sir.
Uh,
So, dear participants, I think the question is over, and we have sufficient time to listen Dr. Uday Pratap Rao sir's expert topic in our prestigious 1 week online FDP. Is there any questions? Okay. Now I would like to request Professor Dolly Sahu to give a vote of thanks for today's session.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, all. I, Dolly Sahu, Assistant Professor of CSE branch. I would like to thank our guest speaker, Dr. Uday Pratap Rao, sir, for enlightening us with their knowledge. Today's lecture was full of knowledge and interesting things. He gave us deep insights into the topic and also revealed some interesting facts. I am pretty sure the precious knowledge that Dr. Uday sir gave us will definitely help us in our studies and future as well. Once again, I would like to thank Dr. Uday Pratap Rao sir for taking out time from their busy schedule and enlightening us with the knowledge. Thank you so much, sir. I would
Thank you very
also
much.
like to thank Principal Sir Dr. Puran Gaur and Dr. Kuldeep Sir, Principal NIRT Pharmacy, and Dr. Devendra Vajpayee Sir, Senior Professor NIRT, for giving permission to organizing this FDP. I want to thank the coordinator, Professor Manish Singhal Sir, and organizing committee who really worked hard to make this session successful. And also thank you to all the participants present here for paying your attention and learning. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dolly. Once again, this is the very nice session, 2-hour session. And in this session, we have lots of things. We have a knowledge about lots of things about cyber security. Dr. Uday Pratap Rao sir has given a very wonderful lecture. I'm very glad to know that in this we have in this FDP, we have a very eminent speaker, Dr. Uday Pratap Rao sir. And thanks to, from my bottom of heart, Dr. Uday Pratap Rao sir, he has come to attend this session as a guest speaker, a very busy schedule. Once again, thank you,
Professor.
Dr. Uday Pratap Rao sir, for coming here and give the very valuable delivering a lecture about cyber security. Thank
Thank
you,
you,
sir.
Professor Manish, and your team and your director and everybody for inviting me for the such and sharing my experience with your audience. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Puran Gaur sir, Dr. Kuldeep Patel sir, Dr. Devendra Kumar Vajpayee sir, and my organizing team member and all faculty members from NIRT, NRI Institute of Research and Technology, Bhopal. And thank you to all dear participants from different country, from different locations of India. And one thing I clear to you and in your knowledge that from tomorrow we have a very better session. Our session speaker, Dr. Irshad Ahmad Ansari. So please come on time and join the sessions. Please join WhatsApp group and please check your emails. We have sent you the today's video lectures, recorded video lectures of Dr. Uday Pratap Rao. We also send you. And if you have any query, please ask me on WhatsApp group. Thank you. I'm Manish Kumar Singhal, HOD coordinator of this event, signing off with my co-host, Professor Dheeraj Kumar. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you, sir.